Hello, Viking fans, and welcome to this 2023 edition of Viking Talk with Coach Josh Morgan. I'm Brandon Davis. Miss Aisha Cooper is on the film for us, and always glad to have with us Warren Central head football coach Josh Morgan. Coach, great to see you.
You too, Brandon.
Back in the saddle again. Seemed like only yesterday we were wrapping up the other season, so a good time. But, Coach, you and I played. We talked about this. There's really not an off season for you guys anymore. You have Christmas, you have Thanksgiving, you come back after that. But football's become like a year-round event for these kids. Walk us through what off season is like here at Warren Central.
Yeah, it's a 12-month program, and if you're not, you're going to be behind. But it's good. It's good. It's good for us. And when we say we're a family, we're a family. We spend a lot of time together, a lot of time developing, and really investing in our young guys. And our coaches do a really good job of coming to work every day with a great attitude and on a mission. And it's not just a job. It's a truly investing in one day at a time approach. And you look up and you can see the growth in our young guys and the maturity level that comes with it. And so we're all about player development here. It's been really good to us, and it starts as soon as the season's over with, we get in the weight room and we really take it serious, and we do a really good job of having a process and a plan there, and our kids buy into it. They can see results, and then you spend really 3 or 4 months in there, and then you get into where you're starting to go into your spring training, and basically that's 4 weeks to get 20 practices in or 15 practices in, and then the last 2 years we've been able to go to Delta State and play in the spring game, which is another great experience. So yeah, a lot goes into what we do. Got great coaches, great help. Great support staff, and so yeah, it's and if you don't do it, you're getting behind. So if you snooze, you lose. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. So we take it really serious, and it's been really good to watch our guys grow.
Well, you brought an Iron Viking program. Talk about that a little bit. And that's something that you guys did when you played at Mississippi State for Coach Sherrill.
That's right.
You probably had the most kids, I think, on that list that I've seen in a while. Talk about what that program is.
So, we did that at State, and I know that I really enjoyed it, and all of our guys enjoyed it. And it's something to kind of shoot for and to really break up the monotony of just weights and weights and weights. You've got goals. We give them eight objectives to go after. 4 of them are lifts and 4 of them are auxiliary with your 40 and your pull-ups and dips and vertical jump. And our kids embrace it, and they go after it. And, if you get all of them, you're elite. If you get 7 of the 8, you're a super Viking. And if you get 5 of the 8, you're an Iron Viking. And so, yes, we had a good number on there, so usually a good indication of what kind of team you got to compete at the level that we do. So it really gives us, being goal-oriented, it gives us something that's our game day at the end of all season. That's what we're preparing for. And it's fun to see guys set goals. They didn't get it last year, and they go after it the next year. And with that on their mind, it makes them work harder. So it's really fun to watch our guys go after it, and it means a lot to them.
Well, it's a new year. It's a new team. And, Coach, you're replacing your entire backfield on offense. Graduation of Jack Wright, Mark Gray, Darius Carter, and our all-guy Trey Hall.
Yeah.
Maddox Lynch is back, but you have a lot you have to replace. Who has stood out to you and the coaching staff on the offensive side of the ball this season?
Yeah, it's a lot of productivity that you just mentioned and rolled off right there. Great guys, great program guys. Never had to worry about them. Always knew where they were going to be. So not just the leadership, not just the maturity level and the experience that they brought, but they were productive. And from Cookie to Debo to Trey, those guys, and then Jack being our trigger man for 2 years, which is something that we hadn't had in a long time as a returning starting quarterback and having that continuity. So we've got big shoes to fill right there. And EJ Collins will be our feature back this year. He played a lot last year and was very dynamic for us, and really made some explosive plays in really big games. So he's got that under his belt. Aiden Greer has really done a good job of developing himself into a fine running back, and he'll get a lot of work for us in between the tackles, and a tough kid, so those 2 guys we will lean on heavily. Taryn Green is a young sophomore that's coming up and going to get immediate playing time, and he's not built like a sophomore. He's got a really good future in front of him, and that we're excited about. We'll do some different things with Zach. Zach is I think he's one of the fastest players in the state, and we're going to try to use that speed and use him in different ways. So we'll split up what we were doing with Trey in different shapes and forms with different guys. And Coach Rob is the best. He's the best at finding creative ways to get to playmakers the ball in space. So, we're in good hands right there. The quarterback position, Ryan Nelson will be a senior, and Nash is going to be in that mix as well, and putting a lot on those two guys. And Harbor Williams is another guy who has really got a lot of reps during the spring, and there's going to be some things that he can do as well. And Maddox, we'll use him in every different shape, form, and fashion we can. So we feel like we've got good possibilities. And the biggest key right now is trying to find what fits us best and how can we move forward, how can we move the chains, how can we score, and how can we win games. And that may take a little bit. So, but at least we have options.
Well, on the offensive line, you're returning two guys, Bo Davis at center, C.J. King. He's very diverse. He's played a lot of positions for us, moved him out to the right tackle. Coach Casey Myers has done a great job with this offensive line, all levels of the offensive line. What have you seen so far from your offensive line unit?
Well, Casey does a really good job with our guys, and those offensive line coaches that's the most important hire that you'll make, and he does a really good job with our guys. They listen to him. He has their trust, and so he's done a really good job with that. Bo has been, our constant for us at center. Really lean on him and his experience, and he's been very good for us and steady, and we're waiting on and expecting him to have a really big year. CJ is one of those athletic guys, as you mentioned, has played different positions, very athletic, another smart guy. Nick Westcott is a senior who is another guy we talk about developing. You just watch him come up as a ninth grader, and a sophomore is just not there yet, but just a program guy that continues to work, shows up every day, gets better, and he has definitely earned himself a starting role and really done a good job, really stepped up. And it's awesome to watch guys who've been behind somebody, and then it's when it's their turn to really pick their game up. And Donovan will be our other guard who's a junior, and Spencer Smith will be another junior. So we've got a older line. We've got some inexperience there, but it's good to see that's where your program takes over and the next man up, and so we're feel good where we're at, and just the more they play, the better they're going to get.
Well, defense is kind of your specialty. We all know that, and I'm going to upset some people that are out in the community watching this has played defense for you. But, Coach, I think this could be the best front seven you've had while you've been at Warren Central. It all starts with your defensive ends. You got Ronnie Blossom, L.J. Reynolds, two of the best in the state, and then you've got a lot of other pieces, Julian Demme that you sprinkle in there. Tell us about what you're seeing from your defense.
Well, we've had some good defenses over the year, Brandon, but it's they have the potential to be those guys, and it does start up front, which is encouraging for us. We feel like we have the two best ends in Mississippi, the two best tandem with Ronnie and LJ, and they're just juniors. They have been playing. We moved them up after their ninth grade year, and they immediately helped us and contributed into that playoff push that year. Started as sophomores. The best thing about those two guys right there is there's been no complacency. It's only a urge and working every day. They're two of our hardest workers. Nobody practices like Ronnie. And people that don't understand Ronnie, his motor on Friday night is his motor on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. LJ has really picked his game up and turned into a leader for us, and his work habits have changed. His maturity level has changed. We get TK Qualls back. He was not with us last year for an injury, and he is a guy who's his brother Roy started for us for many years, and Diaris everybody knows Diaris Christmas around here, and it's his turn, and we're excited to have him back and expecting great things from him. Another program guy is Steph Harris, who's been in our program, and he'll be a senior, and he has really done a really good job answering those question marks. Losing DeMarcus and Roy up there last year, TK and Steph have really taken over those two spots and really done a good job. Julian he's one of the dynamic linebackers in Mississippi. Can play just about any position on the field, and him and Gio and Ronnie and LJ were 4 of our top 5 leading tacklers last year. And I think Garrett, the best thing that he does is he's got anytime you got a 6'3" safety with a wingspan the way he does, he is special. He is going to be one of those. He's under the radar. He's going to have a phenomenal year. And another great guy, great hard worker. Gavin Davenport has emerged as our middle linebacker. You know how important that is to our defense. He's done a really good job, contributed last year. Ben McMullen, another guy that's come up in the program, and he'll be a senior. Again, Zach and Chance Ward will be splitting reps at the free safety. Both those guys help us out at wide out too. And breaking in 2 new corners. So again, I think you're right. I think they have the potential to be really good. Time will tell how that develops, but they've done a good job controlling everything they can control up to this point.
Special teams, we are blessed to have one of the top place kickers in country, Jonah Artman, recently named as Parade All-American, preseason All-American as a sophomore. A very, very big honor for him. Maddox Lynch also back punting for us. Talk about what you've seen from special teams.
Yeah, I'm encouraged about our special teams. We have all of them coming back with the exception of our holder. And Jack was our holder last year. We've got Harbor Williams as our long snapper that's coming back. Bo Davis is our short snapper coming back. Kicker's coming back. He'll just be a sophomore. And Maddox again will be back there. So I'm expecting, and that's it's just such a big advantage to have all that coming back, because special teams, especially in the high school level, can really help you win a lot of games and a lot of hidden yards there. So I'm excited about the potential of how good our special teams can be. We take a lot of pride in it. I thought last year we were a little sluggish coming out of the gate with our special teams. That's been a main focus on being sharp out of the gate with our special teams. And so anytime you got your snappers and kickers back, that's a great start.
Well, this is Viking Talk. We're visiting with Coach Josh Morgan. Coach, heartbreaking adversity struck our program mid-July, the passing of longtime assistant Chad McMullen. And Chad meant so much to all of us. Son Ben's on the team here. You as an educator and a coach, this isn't something that you have to prepare for, that you ever are prepared for. How did you deal navigating the team during that difficult moment?
The best we could. There's no class, nothing that I've ever experienced that helps you deal with situations like this. You lean on the good Lord and let Him and allow Him to guide you and trust what you know is right. And Chad was a wonderful person, and we lost a friend, we lost a coach, our players lost their coach. I had a player that lost his dad, and it just hit us from so many different levels. And I'm so proud of our coaching staff and our kids. And out the gate, you get hit with that, and it has no other way but to bring you closer and to bring you tighter. Our kids are extremely resilient. Our coaching staff, it hit hard because, Chad, he's been with us for forever. And he rides beside me on the bus going to games, and he runs our weight room, and he does our stretches before the game. So, we're still kind of getting used to that, and that's going to take a while, and that's okay too. So we're still navigating that.
Well, the team meeting that we held right after that took place on Monday morning, and Coach, I thought that was beautiful. I mean, you brought the team together. Eric Green, our administrator, was a part of it. All our administrators,
Yep.
All our coaches, everyone came in and really loved on each other. I thought that was beautifully done. Did you feel like that was some of the healing that the team needed to move
Yeah, I
forward?
knew as soon as we could get back together and all be in the same place at one time, that had to happen quickly because we needed that. It was good medicine for all of us. I'm very thankful for all of our principals, Mr. Green, Mr. Rayner, Ms. Hood, Dr. Watkins, every one of them were there, and this was early in the morning now. This is 7 in the morning. Officer Bell was there. Our counselors were there, and it was just a family that was coming together, and all hands were on deck, and we allowed Ben to address the team. So, it was a special time. I'm getting emotional, but I haven't really talked about it a lot, but that was really good medicine, and it was good to see our guys, and and really rally around Ben. And Ben is well taken care of, and our team has done a really good job around him.
Chad's a dear friend of mine. I talked with him a lot, talk with him often. I certainly miss him. You know, thoughts to Sam, Brandy, the entire family, obviously Ben. But I do know this. I do know Chad would be upset at us right now talking about this. I do know he'd be upset if we didn't continue to play football. So we're going to keep talking. But I will say something I wanted to share with everyone is I thought was a great tribute. Throughout the season, you'll see the CM on the back of our kids' helmets. That's to honor Chad, Coach McMullen, for everything that he did for us. But we love him and we miss him. But, you know, I know he wants us to talk about this Red Carpet Bowl game. So, and especially since we're playing Clinton, Coach, you know, this is a game this Friday night. You got the long-standing rival Clinton Arrows coming into town. Doesn't get much better than that.
No, you know, we missed playing them the last 2 years when we did the reclassification. Us and Clinton go way back until the original days where Warren Central became a school. We were playing Clinton. So we were glad to make that happen again. We need to play each other. We missed not playing that game, and I think it's important to both of our communities. You know you're going to get a hard-fought game. They usually all come down to the wire, two evenly matched teams that are, you know, a lot alike in a lot of different ways. So great competition. It's really good to come out with such a well-respected opponent. Week one, it really makes you lock in and get dialed into your approach, and we've had a good week of preparation. We're excited about playing them, and we know that it's going to be one of those that you don't want to miss. So we're excited about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. Coach Judd Boswell always fields a great team, very competitive, as you talked about. This season, handing the football and the reins of his offense over to Arlington, Texas transfer quarterback Sam Semi, very successful over in the Texas ranks, Texas high school football. What problems do you see this Arrow offense causing you this Friday?
Well, you know, the one thing about playing week one is you don't have a lot of tape, you don't have a lot of film study, you don't have a lot of, you know, finding out, you know, kind of what they like to do and what comfortable. You just don't have a lot of stuff to go back and look at. You know, they played in the spring game. They did not play in the Jamboree last week. So we've done the best that we can to prepare our kids. And, you know, there's going to be some things that they haven't seen in practice, and we have to be ready for that and coach them up the best that we can. But we know that they're talented. We know that they're very explosive in the skill. They lost some really good players last year, but just like, you know, teams at that level right there, there's more that's coming up through it. So we've done the best we could in preparation. We know that they're going to be well coached and know that they've got athletes. So. But again, you know, playing week one, that's one of the disadvantages of an opponent is that you just don't have a lot to go off of really what their identity is and what they're trying to do.
Well, defensively, we know a lot about them. They're a veteran group. They are led by one of maybe the better defensive lines in the state. A veteran group led by 6'4", 330 pounds. That's right, folks, 6'4", 330-pound nose guard, Tim Spann. He is a great player, Coach. It's going to be a big hurdle to overcome that this week, having that big run stuffer there in the middle.
Well, he clogs up, you know, a lot of room up there. And but the good thing about it is we have a veteran center that we feel comfortable with, and we can neutralize that. But yeah, he's going to make some plays. They've got two guys that have been playing forever, with both of them very good size. They'll be very multiple up front. Again. So it's going to be important that we understand where we're going and have our heads up, and really we have to be able to run the football. You know how important that is. So we need to settle in. The sooner we settle in, the better. And you know, you're going to have to do the best that you can. You're not going to get a lot of movement on that kind of a young man. So there's going to be different ways that we have to attack it and try to do the best we can.
Yeah, very veteran defense, as we said. 9 seniors on that squad, 2 sophomores, I believe, playing linebacker for them, but again, always well coached on that side of the house. So, Coach, we know heat's been a factor here. The MHSAA put out a wet bulb, kind of a heat index factor that we had to follow. We had to use that during the summer. You also had to use that during practice here. It's made things a little difficult for you. You've had some night practices this week. How's that worked out for you guys to accommodate?
Our kids have done a really good job. Like we couldn't. The way that it worked out, we could not practice during the time that we normally practice. But we also did it for the benefit of our kids because, if we were able to do that sharpens up your practice. That also takes care of our guys. So our kids have done a really good job. You parents that have helped get them back and forth and helped out with that. This has kind of been a joint effort, and everybody kind of doing their part and understanding that we have to do what we have to do. But we've had everybody here. It's been a different schedule, but they understand. They want to do right. They're anxious on playing, and they understand the importance of it. And so a lot of credit goes to our kids, our coaching staff, putting in long hours, getting home, and it's dark, and it's been a really good deal for us. And what's made it good is our kids handle it, and our coaching staff and managers. Everybody's just kind of had to really adjust to what they do, and our guys have handled it extremely well.
Well, the Red Carpet Bowl, we know that's this week, been well documented on the changes that have been made due to the heat. Record highs due today and tomorrow in Vicksburg, so safety being paramount, changes were made. Kudos to leadership for making those calls and doing what needed to be done. But, Coach, you're going to open your season at home against Clinton. We were supposed to be over at Vicksburg, but you have to be excited knowing the team that you've got coming in, and we should have a good crowd here Friday night.
Yeah, opening game of the year, and you're playing Clinton, and you got them at home. So yeah, man, it's going to be a great night, and I know this. Whatever happens, we're going to be better. We're going to be better from it, and that's what you get when you're playing a really good opponent. We've prepared to win, and I know our guys will play to win, and not too many teams have an opportunity. Their first game of the year, they get to play for a trophy. And Red Carpet Bowl really means a lot to our guys and our community. So not only are you playing one of your oldest rivalries, you're playing in the Red Carpet Bowl. And so it's there's a lot at stake coming out of the blocks.
Well, Coach, what's going to be the keys to beating this really good Clinton team?
Well, I feel like this. I feel like, especially early on, I think who can establish the run the most consistently, who can take care of the football. And, in the Jamboree, we did and I'm so glad that we played it. We killed drives with whether it's sacks or it's a holding call. No negative plays. Stay in front of the chains. Make every situation manageable for us, and that's easier said than done. So we want to stay in front of the chains, control the clock, control the game offensively, take care of the football. I'm excited to watch us play. There's still so many question marks, but I'm really excited to watch them play. And I expect our quarterbacks to be better. I think last week will help them in the long run. They're only going to get better the more that they play. So I feel like the establishing of the run game, the reduction of negative plays, and the turnovers are going to be really important to whoever wins this football game.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Yes,
Best of luck. I'll be sitting up in the air conditioning talking to y'all.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but now I want to thank you guys for your time. Hope that you make it out to this game this Friday night here at Viking Stadium. A big deal. The Red Carpet Bowl is so special to this community, what they do through the scholarship program, helping out our young kids in Warren County, a great value to the community for what they do. We certainly hope that you make it out here and join us this Friday night. It's going to be a great show, great teams. We're going to have good music. It's going to be a good time for everybody involved. Next week, we're going to talk about this game. We'll talk about our schedule, the 7A schedule that we have. Then we'll talk about our district schedule that we have. But until then, I'm Brandon Davis. He's Josh Morgan. We'll see you next week. Until then, rise up Vikings.